So, apparently, there is a new trailer for the new Assassin's Creed game. And it takes place in Japan. Now, people have been asking for Assassin's Creed to take place in Japan since, like, what? Assassin's Creed 3? But for some reason, they just could not do that. They decided to shove Assassin's Creed in literally every other major location. Some were hits, some were misses. Personally, I think the whole Abstergo plot line needs to just be thrown the fuck out. I mean, it doesn't really achieve anything. It's just some goofy, like, plot that. The point is to compartmentalize, the action with the sleuthing bullshit. I think, again, that whole Abstergo plot line just needs to go. But enough of my opinion. Let's just watch it.
Who are you? Who do you serve?
All I have ever known in my life. Our land. Our customs. My family. Burns in the name of unification.
You are still a frog in a well, who knows nothing of the sea. The ocean's filled with new ships, but they all come from the same river. Greed. Power. Vengeance.
And you? Will you continue down that river? Or choose another path beyond what we see?
And we must look for it. Together. We must learn to trust. Rebuild.
And follow the blade.
I said, who do you serve? We are the shadows.
That served the light.
If this was to come out, like, I think after Black Flag, I would have, because the trailer looks cool. It looks good, right? I I mean, I liked it up until the fucking pop upbeat music came up, and that sort of took me out of it. But minor gripe. It looks cool, but Assassin's Creed has been milked for all it's worth, and I feel like now the people just do not really have one faith in Ubisoft. Like it's just going to be another vapid open world game that's relatively shallow, regardless of how grand it tries to be. Two, I don't think they have the storytelling potential because there was, again, we know that there was a guy named Yasuke, who was an African. I don't think he wasn't a samurai because again, a samurai was kind of like equal to like nobility in Europe, right? You had land, you had political power, and he didn't really have any of that. But he was like a bodyguard to a shogun, Nobunaga, I think his name is, and like we know this, right? He was still an interesting character, but he wasn't a samurai, right? Like again, the samurai is not just a profession. But if this is the type of story they want to tell, I'm fine. Like I'm okay with historical revisionism if it's cool, if it's entertaining. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a video game. It's just the problem is it's Ubisoft. I mean, the trailer's hype. Like it gets me hyped. It's just, that's the point of trailers, and I shan't not Google all the fucking the additions this game's gonna have, because it's gonna have the Mega Super Ultra Booty Edition. What the fuck is the Amazon Luna? Is that a fucking console? Okay, so it's for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PC, and the Amazon Luna? What in the Looney Tune ass is that? Amazon Luna. I'm assuming, cloud gaming platform. Trash! So anyway, Ubisoft has fully revealed Assassin's Creed Shadows, a Japanese set and entry in the action role-playing game franchise. Is Assassin's Creed even a role-playing game anymore? I mean, you don't really choose your character. You can choose certain decisions, but they ultimately lead to very few conclusions, including a cinematic trailer release date, dual protagonists, and more. The near 4-minute trailer below introduced players to Ubisoft's take on 1579 Japan, alongside Shadow's two protagonists, the stealthy shinobi Neo and the action-oriented Yasuke, who's a real figure from Japanese history. Yeah, I mean, again, we know this. Now, again, was he a samurai? Probably not. But, I mean, we know he was there. Shadows is solely single player, but players can switch between the two characters at will. Players can explore both these characters and the ambitious open world of Japan when Shadow launches on November 15th, 2024 for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, PC, and Amazon Luna. Fucking disgusting. Shadows looks to evolve the open world RPG. Evolve. I should really stop cutting my fucking points short. Sometimes you hear words like evolve. It's Ubisoft. Ubisoft hasn't evolved in years. And again, the trailer is interesting, but it's like, I should just keep reading. Shadow looks to evolve the open world RPG genre in myriad ways, such as through a season cycle. This means that just as days naturally change to night in video game, the world of Shadows moves from spring to summer to fall and to winter. Each season brings with it new gameplay elements like underwater entrances being frozen over and inaccessible during the winter, luscious crops providing cover for stealth, conquest in the spring, and more. Light and darkness is another focus of Shadow, as the name suggests, and Ubisoft's new global illumination system provides dynamic gameplay options and affects how enemies perceive Neos and Yasuke depending on what light or shadow is available. I mean, this isn't like new, but I mean, it's interesting. I mean, to their credit, it is like a season system that is interesting, right? Have interesting now how far they want to take this and how exactly will it be implemented. I mean, goes to it like, so is it going to be, it's going to be open world, but through like what part of the story you're in, will that determine whether it's winter, summer, spring, or fall? And the game looks visually good. I mean, it's not difficult to make nowadays, to make, like, we have the technology to make any game look visually appealing, right? You can have mods that do that. But again, and it's the fact that you kind of know what the Ubisoft story is because they do it all the fucking time, right? Vapid open world, bland stories, somewhat bland character. Again, I prefer games that take risks, right? Like I play the fuck out of Warframe, and the story of Warframe is purposefully convoluted for a reason. But above the convoluted story, it just is a good game visually and aesthetically, right? And I always applaud games for going just that mile, even if it's not even a requirement. Like, there's no, like, Warframe has no right to have a banger fucking story, but it does. And it's unapologetic, and I'm all for it. And I just do not believe Ubisoft has that level of creativity. Like, again, everything in the trailer looks amazing. It's just, you know the Ubisoft formula by now. And it's like, you know, it's a shame they couldn't have done this back then when they actually had good storytellers and good writers. As for the size of the world, creative director Jonathan Damont told IGN that Shadow would be roughly the same size as Assassin's Creed Origins, the Egypt set entry from 2017. It promises myriad evolutions of Ubisoft's past RPG entries, through which also includes Odyssey and Fall. But again, I don't want to play these games again. I want something new. I mean, they told us one new mechanic, and I guess the switching between character mechanics is okay. But again, I want something new, not just the same cookie cutter formula that is Ubisoft. See, with players able to go prone, use grappling hooks. I mean, again, these are all things that have always existed. Read all about the extensive interview development team. If that's not enough, check out blah 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 blah. Breakdown cinematic trailer, Easter eggs, and more. Anyone else stoked to grab the complete edition in 2026 for $15? What? Well, stoked to grab the complete edition. Oh, I get it. Yeah, because, you know, companies have a bad habit of selling pieces of a game. This is Ubisoft. It'll be that price 6 months after release. Yeah. And then again, that's also the thing with games. Like, you know that most games after like what not even half a year lowers its price almost by half. Like that usually never happens. Like I remember when Reach, which was $60, remained $60 for like a year or so because the hype was still there. I'm do my part and buy it full price day one for for my unpopular opinion, but I have very rarely been disappointed with UB's offering, especially if this is the style of the newest Antiquities trilogy. I got Mirage 2, but was a bit underwhelmed. Odyssey was my favorite of those three, and hoping this will rival it. I don't know if he's memeing or not. Sucker Punch beat them to the punch 4 years ago with Ghost of Tsushima. Absolutely. Like, Ghost of Tsushima, I mean, I don't really like comparing two completely different games from two completely different companies and effectively two completely different genres, but the fact of the matter is people are becoming conscientious consumers. Like, people no longer just shut their brain off and consume anymore, right? Which they should. I mean, we should be. It's something that should exist. Like, we should do this, but again, at every turn, companies are like, no, we want to treat you like our piggies, and people are like, well, I don't think I agree with that. Well, this big boss guy's been jumping in here twice with the fucking rebound. That was one of the best games ever made. There's no competition with it, especially from the likes of Ubisoft. I mean, best game ever made. Nah, I don't agree. I mean, it's just not the type of game I really like. But was it a good fucking game? Yes. Should it come out on PC? I think it is. I think Ghost of Tsushima is coming out on PC. Totally get what you're going for, but disagree. Love Tsushima, double platinums, long play on PS5. Not auto pop trophies, 100% on both. Still play Legends, love it. But these are different games from different developers, different tones. Try to tell different stories, different ways, different gameplay. The only commonality is that they are both in Japan. Using that as your barometer, you might as well say Tsushima is a Noah clone. But they're done that. Been there, done that. I guarantee you'll play it though. Maybe not buy it at least, not until that it's heavily discounted. But we'll play it when it shows up on PS Plus or Game Pass at the very least. Again, I agree with Mr. Big Boss, but again, in this fucking economy, people kind of have to choose. I'm assuming he's a grown-ass adult and has other responsibilities, and the way the entertainment industry is going right now, like, people are absolutely clutching their wallets and being like, okay, what exactly do you like? What exactly are you going to give to me that's worth my fucking money? I mean, you can only play one game at a time, right? And if one game, even if it's completely different in all other aspects, if that's the game that you enjoy your time with, as opposed to, again, another game that, okay, it's $70 fucking dollars, made by Ubisoft. Yeah, it does all the things to try to keep you playing, but like has none of the substance. Only really has the form. I mean, again, these are things people are looking into. These are things people are thinking about, and it's like, okay, why would I play another Ubisoft throwaway just to compete and have a tax write-off if I can just play Helldivers? Again, completely different game, completely different story from a completely different developer, but it is still a video game and it still requires the same amount of input. I mean, definitely getting this. Probably not at launch, but at some point. Yeah, I mean, and this is primarily what people are saying. It's like people are just gonna wait for a discount. You know, $70 fucking dollars or maybe $100, depending on what else they want to strip from the game. I mean, that is a steep price point for most people. Not interested. Tired of Assassin's Creed games and nothing looking interesting. Their games did this all before. Yeah, man, and I agree that this is also true, right? I mean, Assassin's Creed has not really evolved as far as because when Black Flag came out, I mean, there was a legitimate evolution in the play style while keeping with the combat. And when Rogue came out, they had a chance to make it different, but they chose not to. Glad they ticked all the boxes. Where and where? Ah, I see them now. Yeah, I mean, if you know, you know. No's main protagonist is William Adams, who's an Irish sailor become a samurai. Zero controversy, I wonder why. What new controversies are you alluding to? This has to be a bot. Like, my man is here a third time. What controversy are you alluding to? Someone complained about these characters' designs. Also, William Adams in No is based on a real person of the same name, though English, not Irish. Same with the differently named protagonist in the book Shogun. Great television adaptation available via Hulu. Now, if you're interested in a bit of fictionalization, historical drama, all that said, what is the point of your comment? Genuinely asking it, as I don't understand what you could be trying to reference. Yeah, I'm just assuming this guy's a bot. One more comment. I don't care. Insert the random politically correct ass-sick savior in feudal Japanese. Why are inserting PC people into historical settings in movies and games, television, now calling it historically accurate? Completely took me out of the story. Hard pass. Again, I mean, I 100% agree with what this guy is saying. Now, does it affect me? I mean, I'm not going to purchase the game for a completely different reason, but again, people see these things happening, right? But you're not allowed to point them out, right? It is a trope that if you point out, you're the bad guy, and it's like you don't. Yeah, you can shut people down from saying this, but you don't stop the issue. I haven't played an AC game since the first, nor Ghost of Tsushima, so I am quite intrigued by this. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're new in the franchise, it's whatever. Oh my god, I'm about sick and fucking tired of this dude. There are things that make me nervous. Noah is facing a pretty large group of soldiers for an assassin. For example, I completely get Yasuke being a great warrior like Cassandra or Evor, but I expect Noah would need to rely on stealth. On the other hand, it's a trailer. Revelations include a pretty intense battle with an outnumbered Ezio. After all, I'm excited and really looking forward to the point where it comes down in price. I'm not paying full price for a Ubisoft game Ubisoft says I can't own, though, because it looks like it could be fun. Please elaborate on Ubisoft saying you can't own it. Doesn't Ubisoft have sort of like a PS, like what PlayStation Network has, where it's region locked out of certain countries? I mean, that's probably what because again, this is going to be yet another one of those games that you need to sign into your damn Ubisoft account. But then here's fucking Big Boss again, coming out the fucking left quarter. He's elaborated on Ubisoft saying you can't own it. How so? It's a single player game. No multiplayer aspect to close off servers. ECTC. I doubt this will be an internet connection required game either. What is your concern? Again, I'm pretty sure it will demand you sign into your Ubisoft account. since that's the new thing. They can make this series in any setting they want, and it will still be the same damn game we already played with very little innovation. Ubisoft and hell, a lot of companies, IMO, need to stop relying on making one story, making one series forever. Assassin's Creed was a cool idea when it first came out, but do we need 10 of these games? Probably not. People keep buying them, me, so they will keep making them. Yeah, I mean that is the truth. I mean, people do just keep buying them, and they will keep making them. But anyway, that's all I gotta say about this. I mean, it's a shame that I'm not as hyped about Assassin's Creed as I was when 3 and Black Flag came out. And I don't know. I'm probably not going to buy this either. I mean, I have a bunch of other games on the docket. Like, there's a game called Celico, which is made in the GZ Doom engine. And it looks fucking amazing. Like, I know a lot of games are being made in the old GZ Doom format that look cool and have different stories. And I'll probably be playing quite a few of them. But anyway, that's all I gotta say about this. Peace.